Welcome back. I got this idea. If you take the lessons from mandolin for violinists that are on site, we can reverse engineer that to learn how to strum for some alternative techniques on the fiddle. So you can apply the mandolin stuff to the violin. Now, mandolins have frets, as we know, and fiddles don't, unless you have one of these fiddle fretter things. Let me see if I can get that close to the little frets. It's a sticker. Fiddlefretter.net, I think it is. I think D'Addario was making something similar. And so I have that on here. It's just a kind of a temporary experiment for me. It's kind of neat. I like it. I'll do a whole little video on that, a review on that one time. But anyways, maybe you'll be able to see, and you can feel it definitely with these frets in here too, that you can do the same chords at mandolin does for kind of a ukulele effect. Kind of neat. You can put your bow down for a second, or you can even hang on to your bow in your hand lightly. Hold it like a guitar. You can do it up here up here. It's a little more difficult. I try and do it with my thumb. But being that I play guitar also, it's more natural for me to hold it down here. So now, what are the couple techniques you'll need for that? One is the idea of strumming. Strumming comes from guitar and mandolin. And without a pick, I've seen a few fiddlers grab a pick when they want to do this. It's kind of interesting. I never have. I prefer to play the guitar without a pick as well. But basically it's a strum. I'll try and get close to the camera here. Let me see. I kind of do this thing with my fingers and thumb. Sometimes I'll just use all my fingers. And you got to be quite loose about it because the curvature of the bridge makes you be able, it's not straight across like a guitar or mandolin. You got to be somewhat loose about it to be able to hit all the strings. This kind of finger roll can be from like flamenco guitar. But first finger alone will do the trick if you keep it nice and loose. It'll adjust itself to the different levels of the strings. First finger is fine. Thumb is fine. On the way up, you hit more the nail, which is a different sound, which might be preferable, might not. Sometimes I'll do both. I'll do downstroke with the thumb, upstroke with the finger. That's kind of natural. I can keep my hand nice and loose, very relaxed. Hearing that? Seeing that? I'm on a G chord, by the way, which is G, D, B1 on the A string, and low 2 G on the E string. It's a nice chord. It is also one of the chords that we learned from the mandolin lessons. Another chord is C. Same fingering, open G, E1 on the D string, C low 2 on the A string, and open E. And another great chord is D. Again, you can see all kinds of chords on other lessons and downloads, and look over the mandolin lessons if you haven't looked at that yet. You can learn quite a bit from it. It would be the first finger A on the G string, open D, open A, and take your second finger and double low it so it's straight across from the first finger on the E string, and making it F sharp. Now those three chords, of course, as you learn in your theory lessons here, are the 1, the 4, and the 5 in the key of G, which is 90% of everything that's in the key of G. Alright, so those are good ones to start with, and they're quite easy. Alright, so strumming. Strumming for violinists, strumming can be learned by thinking like you're bowing. Alright? We'll talk about downstrokes and upstrokes. Now, in general, strumming to any style is eighth notes. Downstroke on the beat, upstroke with whatever fingers. You can use the middle finger, first finger, whatever, on the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands. Go to G chord that we learned earlier. G, D, B, and G. It's a nice chord, and it's easy. It has the root in the bottom, which is nice sounding all by itself. So, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. strumming just straight eighth notes the whole time is rather boring sounding. If you want it to be interesting and alive, you put accents in for one. Let's try just an exercise putting an accent on beats 1 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and to give the accent, of course, just like pushing harder on your bow, you just push harder on your thumb. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? Now, that said, beats 1 and 3 are not the hippest ones to accent. As you're learning in all other lessons here about the backbeat, beats 2 and 4 is much more danceable. So let's try that. We're not going to accent 1 and 3, we're going to accent 2 and 4. So go slowly, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. A little faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3. That automatically gives it that danceable in and out flow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So, now that said, if we can put an accent on 2 and 4 and miss the strings every once in a while, you're in the club. So, there's plenty of exercises on this. I think I did a bunch on the mandolin lessons. Again, I'd encourage you to check those out and use those on your fiddle, even if you don't have a mandolin. But let's try just a couple of them. How about, let's miss 3. Don't worry about the accents for a minute. So you just miss the strings. You still do a down or upstroke as needed, you just won't hit the strings. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So essentially you have 2 upstrokes in a row. Down, up, miss, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Still just down, up, down, up, down, up the whole time. 1 and 2 and. If you want to really sound like an awkward arrhythmic person, you'll strum literally. 1 and 2 and. It will come out not sounding very good or flowing. So do not strum literally. So don't go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It gets all messed up and does not flow naturally. You want to just keep your arm going down and up the whole time in eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. C chord. D chord. G. That sounds like a song, doesn't it? Yeah, it is. It's about 1,000 songs. So, switching chords while you're flowing is the trick, too. So don't worry about whether you snap your fingers right to this chord or not. You can take your time, and it's better to be on time for the next chord and bail on the chord before a little early and just strum some open strings in between. Plenty of guitar players and mandolin players do that. You can do it on the fiddle, too. Listen. 1 and 2 and 3. Open. Muscle memory, you train your fingers to know right where to snap to, the less time you'll need for this stuff. But there's no shame in just taking your time and strumming open strings. It's part of a lot of people's style, on the guitar especially. Okay? Alright, we'll make a quick break there.